breaking down before you. Fear of the sight reminds you now that I know that I never seem to show. Fear that I slow down. And if I am your child, then why should the slightest of fear overcome my line of sight? I'll be more inclined to you.
It's very nice. I like it.
Sê niks moet wat sê jy?
Stand up above in your shoes, doors open up before you. Fearless enough to thank you now that I know that I never seem to slow down.
How do you feel compared to your last wedding?
Oh, she said it was so long ago. I was in your tummy.
Yeah, I had the last time. Yeah, everyone is flapping around me. It's a lot calmer here. Yeah, I feel fine. I feel much older.
So Dad, can you explain to me what you're busy doing, please?
I'm busy doing my vows.
Ah,
I'm doing my vows and I'm doing my speech.
didn't you leave that a bit late?
It's done.
Ah, it's done. Ah, cool.
I've got to practice it. That's no problem. I'm going to go over and over and over and over and over for the next 2 hours.
Good luck with that.
3 hours.
3 hours.
I've got 3 hours.
I don't think you have 3 hours.
I've got 2 hours.
You have an hour and a half.
Alright, I'll do it in 10 minutes.
Good luck.
I'll just read it.
You still got to get dressed, eh?
Yeah, I'm just changing my pants.
Ah, okay. Staying with the t-shirt.
Yeah, I put shoes on.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
It's a restaurant.
You won't be a single man no more.
Scary, yeah. I've done it before.
Oh, how does it feel not being a bachelor anymore after today?
No different.
No different. Exactly the same.
No difference.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know This is a ceremony that's based on the work that these two have done with me. And it might be a little different from the ceremony that you're used to. If you want to talk to me about these two, go with it and do the ceremony. We are gathered here today to bear witness to the nuptial rites of two of our fellowship. They have chosen to be united in accordance with the traditions, customs, and philosophy of the way in which we lead our lives. It is given in the affairs of human beings that at the various stages of our lives, we seek out those that we see as qualified to support us in the achievement of the goals and vision we have. At different times, those that we seek out play very different roles. In our early years, we seek out support from those whom we call our parents. However, there comes a time when the support that those two people offer us is no longer appropriate for the task that faces us. The time comes when we must put away childish things and pick up the things that will now concern us as we move into the next and higher stage of our lives. As we move into what we call the adult phase, which is going to occupy us for the rest of our living years. This choice of a lifelong helpmeet is not an easy one. The possibility of making a mistake is always present. The task of mutual support, one for the other, that is demanded of each of us once we have been chosen, can often be difficult. The great beauty of the task that we agree to undertake when we are chosen is that it will call forth from us the very best that we are able to give. It will require of us that we dig deep into the store of talents that are our birthright. Under no circumstances may we hold back. Our chosen partner is entitled to experience the full benefit of our God-given magnificence. It is out of all this that these two people, Douglas and Lana, stand here before us today. Douglas and Lana have recognized in each other a beauty, a strength, and a core magnificence that they feel and know from the very depths of their being will give each other the support that will empower each of them to achieve all that is possible for them to achieve. It is this giving to the process of life itself, of the very best that we can give, that is the ultimate realization of life itself. So it is that Doug and Lana have called us to this place to witness their commitment of Doug to his chosen wife and helpmeet, and Lana to the commitment of her chosen husband and helpmeet. So now I invite you to draw nigh and surround these people with your love and your wishes for their well-being as they commit themselves to the support of each of the other in the years that are still to come. So push the chairs to one side. Come. Get close, get close. This is a family affair. If there be anyone here present that could show just cause why Doug and Lana may not rightfully be joined in matrimony,
You can leave now.
in fact you should you have left already. Because then I can eat your food. Or at least my son can eat your food, because he's already complaining that he's hungry. Doug, do you know of any just cause, spiritual, legal, moral or otherwise, why you two should not be joined together in matrimony? Lana, do you know of any just cause, spiritual, legal, moral or otherwise, why you two should not be joined together in matrimony? Doug, do you promise of your own free will to take this woman Lana to be your rightful wedded wife? Will you love her, cherish her, respect, protect, and be faithful only unto her? Will you keep her and stay with her in sickness and in health, through affluence and adversity, keeping only her unto you for the time as set out by your manifest destiny? Lana, do you promise of your own free will to take this man Doug to be your rightful wedded husband? Will you love him, cherish him, respect, protect, and be faithful only unto him? Will you keep him and stay with him in sickness and in health, through affluence and adversity, keeping only him unto you for the time as set out by your manifest destiny? Now, will you please both repeat after me? I call upon all those here present.
Call upon all those who are present.
I'll say it again. We'll allow you to be a little distracted. I call upon all those here present to bear witness to my solemn vows.
Bear witness to the solemn vows.
And to this I pledge my troth.
To this I pledge my troth.
Got the rings? We lost them. This is very often a time for panic. Oh, well done, sir. Good. There's always a bit of a mess around the rings. It's custom.
There was no rehearsal.
No, sure. No, that's the point.
They're so tacky looking at people.
There's no rehearsal for marriage either. Okay. Now, by the giving and receiving of a ring, exchange your rings, please. Who's first?
I will do that.
Okay. And now your turn. Let the holy state of matrimony be realized. Next space up. Come out this way. No, don't worry about it. Close your eyes. By the joining of hands, let the state of matrimony be both civilized and recognized. And I declare you to be man and wife. These are personal vows that they each want to make to one another, so please listen and pay careful attention. And there is something more that I will want to say to you after that.
Lana, I, Sebastian's birth pledge, To be a loving friend. Talk, listen, trust, appreciate. To cherish your uniqueness. To support, comfort, strengthen you through life's joys and sorrows. To share my hopes, thoughts with you. And to be forever peaceful, kind, and full with joy and love. That's like that, so you show me up.
It's my head. I love you. You're my best friend. My soulmate. My partner in life. I want your love. And today, I've given myself to you much. And I promise that I will be there for you every step of our journey. I will encourage you. I will support you with kindness and love. I will encourage and strengthen you too. I will laugh with you in times of joy. I will be a constant companion. I will comfort you and take care of you in times of struggle. So I promise that I will approach every moment of our life together with faith and optimism, positive energy. I will love and honor you in the good times when life is easy and the bad times when it's hard. I will cherish every precious moment that we have together. I will never take a single second for granted. I give you my heart and my loyalty and my trust. And whatever may come, I will be by your side. Is it a bit long? I have lots to say.
Please sit down, because I want to get something. It is often said that marriage is an honorable estate. I like those words. But I wonder how often we really look at them. So this is addressed not only to Douglas and Lana, but also to those of you who are perhaps intending to get married at some time in the future, or who have been married for a period of time. They are also addressed to those who were married and whose marriages did not quite work out the way that they intended. So reflect on these words, work with them, and see what they bring up for you, because these are addressed as much to you as to Lana and Doug. There are two very important words in that statement. Marriage is an honorable estate. The first of these words is the word honor. When we honor someone, we surely mean that we hold that thing in the highest regard, that it is something that we look up to, that it is something that we can rely upon to be there as a point of reference in our lives, that it is something that we will do our very best to defend and protect from harm. So I say to you this: ask yourself in all your actions with each other and the outside world, will this honor me, and will this honor you and our estate? The second of the very important words in that statement, marriage is an honorable estate, is that word estate. Ask yourself, when you think of an estate, what do you think of? Do you not think of something that is substantial and fine and valuable? something that has grown over time as a result of diligent cultivation and careful nurturing by loving managers. An estate that is not lovingly fertilized, proved, plowed, and sown and harvested for what it will yield, by loving and caring management, will soon become a wasteland of weeds and clogged ditches and impenetrable thickets, incapable of providing nourishment for those that live in that estate. So it is with the estate of marriage. To ensure that the fruits of marriage are nourishment for each other's state of being and for each other's souls, this demands that great attention be given to every detail all of the time. It is a delicate process, this caring. Just as a plant will not do well if it is continually interfered with it, so we as human beings also do not flourish if we are continually poked and prodded. We too need to be allowed our space. And this is the tightrope that must be walked. Allow each other the space to be who the other is, and yet be sufficiently aware that they do not at any time feel the scorn of indifference. Be aware that at all times, neither of you is the estate. Remember always why you chose the person now standing with you. Remember always that you chose them for the qualities that they knew and you knew that could bring to the creation of a substantial and valuable estate. Remember too that this is why they chose you. Remember always that they have no more interest in allowing the estate to fall into disrepair than you do. And that does not mean that they always will do what we call the right thing. So remember this. You chose one another for the creation of an honorable estate, and let all your thoughts and actions be aimed to this end. Let all your thoughts and actions be guided by the principles of integrity and impeccability. Be a support one to the other, as best as you possibly can. And go forth with love. Those are my words, and they come from my heart. These words are written by somebody greater than I. And most of you, I suspect, will probably be familiar with them, but they can always bear repetition. And it is the poem on love that is written by the Christian mystic that shared the planet with us in the 30s, Khalil Gibran. And then said Almitra, speak to us of love, mystical word that. And he raised his head and looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, when love beckons to you, follow him. Though his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings enfold you, yield to him. Though the sword hidden amongst his pinions will wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him. Though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so he is for your pruning. even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them when they are clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you to himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He sifts you to free you from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant. And then he assigns you to his sacred fire, so that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your own heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world. Into the seasonless world, where you will laugh, but not all of your laughter. Where you will cry, but not all of your tears. Love gives naught but itself, and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not that you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love, and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. To melt, be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. And to bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of love. To rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy. To return home at eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart, and a song of praise upon your lips. That for me pretty much sums it up. When you embark upon this state of matrimony, that is what is going to be demanded of you, the very best that you have to do, and this may not be a gentle process. My best, be well.
Thank you.
Right, we're going to start the speeches. Was that too loud? I don't know. Ding, ding, ding.
You don't need rights.
Wow, what an amazing occasion. And we got people from all over South Africa here today. So welcome to everyone. We've only got about 4 speeches, and those people doing the speeches know who they are. But before we do that, I'm going to just pick on people, and you better be ready to say something.
Anyone who wants to say something.
Okay, so and now all of you started saying, going in your heads, oh shit, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Okay, so before we have those speeches, if there's anyone here who feels that they would like to just briefly stand up and just say a couple of words, then now is going to be the opportunity to do that.
Panicking.
Is there anyone who'd like to say something? Yes, please.
I'm surprised, hey Lana.
Yes, I'm so
I
sorry.
was just telling the lady at our table, I knew you since a little girl. And you know what? Doug, you have got the most wonderful wife ever. And she she has got so many wonderful qualities.
You're gonna make me cry.
And I don't care, you need to. And you and Lana, when you made your vows, I know you'll stick to them. You've got those qualities as well. And I wish you everything of the best. And I'm glad I'm here with you.
Awesome, Mama. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just want to say, like, obviously I've known Douglas apart from Lana, and I've known Lana apart from Douglas, but ever since you guys met, from that first bride that you guys sat in the kitchen talking for hours and forgetting about everyone else, because all that mattered was the conversations that were going on between you, you really brought out the best in both of each other, and it's amazing to watch how you guys have grown together over this time.
I remember that bride. To be responsible. You should do union. It's always forcing my single friends to sort of connect, which you two just see.
But it was a setup. It wasn't
a setup. It was
Well, I
not a
didn't know
setup.
she was going to be
No,
there.
and she didn't know either that you were going to be there. And in fact, neither of you recalled each other for a moment, and it was like, oh my gosh, okay, so it's each other. But anyway, that was, Ash just made me remember that. And what I wanted to say was thank you very much for just such a beautiful day, and it's really special to be a part of it. So thank you.
Pleasure, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Lana. I knew your mother when she was a little girl.
So I was just a twinkle in the eye when you like later.
I am so proud to be here today with you. Thank you very much. And Doug, thank you for us being here with you guys for this special day. I mean, it's a special day today. And I'm so proud to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, I just want to say that I'm really proud of both of you, because no matter what has been thrown at you through the 4 years that you've been together, you have both come out on top. I've seen tears on both sides, and it makes me really proud to look at both of you and to see where you are now and how far you've come. And thank you very much for making my mom the happiest person on the planet, because I'm at home in Joburg when I see her, how much she misses you and how happy you make her, and that I know that you are her whole world because I see it every day. And Mom, I'm really proud of you because you found an amazing man, and I hope one day that I can also find a relationship like you guys, because you are an inspiration to me, and I love you both.
Okay, great. So then I'm going to grab my chance. No, you won't need tissues, so I've got much to say, and then leave it to the most important people. Right, so this morning I was just thinking, so how did this all come about? And you and Ashley kind of mentioned the bride, and I kind of thought, you know, how many things had to synchronize to kind of make today happen, like synchronicity? And I kind of said, so that bride 4 years ago is kind of where you guys kind of really started chatting, and there was like this spark and connection. And I thought, you know, had we not moved to Cape Town, because my best friend was staying here, and we hadn't decided to move to Cape Town, maybe the two of you would never have had that evening, because the bride wouldn't have happened, you wouldn't have been invited because you were visiting me. So I thought, okay, so how can we move to Cape Town? The reason we moved to Cape Town is because Jürgen and I decided to make a movie. But why did we decide to make a movie? Because I found a script that Jürgen had typed out like 30 years ago. And when I read the script, I said, geez, we've got to make it. I told him about it, and he said, we've got to make the movie. So how come I found the script? Well, it's because our house burned down in Johannesburg, and the only thing that survived the fire was the script. And I thought, so did you guys get married because the house burned down? And I've been asking myself a question for the last 8 years, why did the house burn down? So then I thought, well, maybe that's how the house burned down. Definitely would have been worth it. So now I've got a brother-in-law, cool guy. And then I thought, well, how come we moved into that house? And then I thought, well, back when we selected the house, and I realized the day we walked in there, the people we bought the house from was this beautiful lesbian couple. And I said to Jana, you know, 2 women looking after the house, it's been looked after so well, then we've got to buy this house. And I thought, well, so did Doug and Lana get married because of this beautiful lesbian couple? And then I said, well, why did we, you know, then I remembered just before that house, we saw another beautiful house and we wanted to buy that house. But when I walked in there was this little kid with this like runny nose. Geez, that runny mucus is all over the house. So I don't want to buy that house. So then I thought, so did they get married because of the snotty nose kid? Because if it wasn't for the snotty nose kid, we wouldn't have chosen the other house, which burned down to get the script. And then I went, oh, geez, no way. And then I realized, you know, all of us, my belief is that all of us in this lifetime have got a soulmate who's out there waiting to be found. And it doesn't matter what happens, any of that stuff, didn't matter if any of that happened, the 2 of them would have found each other. Because that's what soulmates do. And sometimes it takes your entire lifetime before you find that person. And I also believe that at times we've got more than one soulmate in our lifetime, but who play different roles. Because I know I've got a number of soulmates, but one who is my spouse. And so, to me, it's just an amazing thing that we've all got together here today to witness the joining of 2 amazing soulmates who met each other 30 years ago. I don't know how long it was when you were at school.
14.
You knew each other. 40 years ago they met.
No, not that.
No. Oh, no. 30 years.
Maybe 30.
30 years ago they already had met, but it wasn't meant to be at that time. And at some stage they were meant to come together. So today is the day. So to the 2 of you, absolute privilege to be able to be part of this journey and this getting together today of 2 amazing soulmates. Yeah, so if you can all raise your glasses to the beautiful couple.
Thank you.
With that being said, the first person I want to call up to do a speech, and I know it's probably not going to be a very long one, is the bride's father. Dad, you can come up. You stand, yeah, I know it's going to be brief. This is where the speeches are going to be.
You've got to be on the spot there.
Okay, I'm very glad to be here today.
Yeah!
Firstly, I want to welcome you in the family. I want to wish both of you everything the best. This journey. And this business.
Thanks, Dad. Made me cry now.
Cheers.
Right, the next person I want to call up to say a few words is the best man. Damien.
You can.
Just the camera. Before I say anything, I think we always have to have a birthday song. So if everybody can sing.
Oh, we can just now.
No, we're gonna sing now.
Okay, sing now.
We're gonna sing now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lana. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Damien.
Somebody remembered.
Somebody remember.
Okay, so my name is Damien. I'm Douglas' son. I was born on the 22nd of September, 92, on my dad's birthday. Best birthday present he ever got. Over the last 23 years, we've been through some ups and downs as well. The mountains, the beach, back in the valley, back at the beach. Finally ended up here in Cape Town, which ended up being quite a blessing. That's where you met Lana. So over the last 23 years, my dad and I, well, I've basically become exactly the same person my dad is. But long speeches is not something that I got from him. Something that nice and short and sweet. But basically, the Lapid family is quite a different family.
We saw you last night.
We've definitely noticed that over the last 3 or 4 years. But just a small little story, when the Lapid families get together, we literally set the roof on fire. The last time we were all in the same room together, we did manage to set a house on fire. But basically, luckily, Nash had some insurance, and for me, you are my insurance, and your dad is being well looked after, and you guys are a perfect match for each other. I'm very happy to be welcomed into your family, and I hope you feel you guys are welcome into our family, as small as it is. Not a lot of us, but we are capable of loving as much as we are fighting. Lots of love. So yeah, all the best for the future, and we look forward to celebrating.
As long as I can kind of read through it.
Do you want to stand or sit?
No, I'm going to sit, please.
You can sit.
I know.
Eventually you do sit and everyone gets comfortable.
No, but seriously, firstly I want to thank everybody involved in making this possibility. It's difficult when you're in a particular situation and you have to call upon people to get involved and see if they can make something happen, and what happened. So I need to thank everybody involved, Aubrey and your family, entire family, because everybody was there, everybody played a part. Thank you very much for that, Tana. And especially to people who've come a long distance, Alta, folks.
Thanks. Thank you, folks.
Everybody has to travel far. Thank you very much for making an effort. I know it's costly, but thank you very much for sharing this day with us. Okay, that's go into Renee, please. Renee, thank you for sharing your time with us today and bringing us some photos. So we look forward to seeing them. But thank you for being here with us, Renee. Okay, just to get in quickly, I'm going to literally read through this because it's going to be easier for me. You want to read it with me?
I think you must just say it's massive.
No, it's just really, this is from my heart.
Just
Okay.
read it.
The first and most common question that I was asked when word got out that I proposed and we were going to get married was like, why? That was the big deal. Under the circumstances, I can understand why. I view this as and I'm reading it because it can get very long. I view this as an acknowledgement of what was already obvious to most people, that Lana and I had already been together for 4 years. We went through. I would never in the beginning, thought, right, let's do anything like this. It was just simply a friendship, and it somehow organically evolved. So I thought it was obvious to most people. But I'm kind of a very stubborn person. I was adamant I was never going to do this, ever. I'm not going to do it. Well, never say never. So what already obvious to me when there is love between people, when there is love between two people, the future is pretty much set. But when that love is going to be challenged by the circumstances such as mine, then I want a very special wingman. And my bride is the obvious choice. Yeah.
Is that short?
No. I need to catch my breath. My oxygen's cut off here.
Ronnie, he shook his breath away.
Forever. So yeah, I needed a special wingman, and my bride is the obvious choice. We've crossed challenges spanning more than 4 years, and in this time I've experienced so much magic, which made my decision very easy.
So, today's my 47th birthday. And the number 47, as most of you must know by now, is a very special number to myself and Doug. It's tattooed close to his heart. It's tattooed close to my pulse. And there's a very specific reason, because it reminds us every day, follows us everywhere, and it reminds us every day of our connection to the universe and the divine intervention that brought us together and keeps us together every day. So we live our life on faith, and our values and beliefs are exactly the same. We trust in what's meant to be. We both believe that everything is exactly as it's meant to be. And this day, I don't think on my 47th birthday, the most profound birthday, I don't think I could think of anything more perfect, more wonderful, more amazing to be doing than this, than experiencing this day. So I think it's amazing for a couple of reasons. Before I get to my husband, I don't have very many.
You're putting it out there now. You got a little bit of husband.
Where's your husband? Okay, so my world is actually quite small. I don't have tons of people in it. I have a few really, really special, amazing human beings that are angels in my life and that mean everything to me. And I spend, I think, most of my days missing all of those people because the only human being that spends his time with me is this amazing human being here. So I just want to say to my son, Connor, he is my constant, everyday person. And I don't know what I would do without him. So I spend a lot of my time missing the people that really, really I'm so thankful and grateful for. And today, on this amazing birthday, I get to have everybody that I love is in this room. And I can't even tell you what it means. So, thank you all for being here, Kimmy, and all of you. Yeah, made my birthday. What an amazing birthday. And then, yeah, the fact that you all came together to spend a day with me that I never ever thought I'd have. Truly, this has been the most amazing journey I've ever had in my whole life. It's even hard to put into words, but I think when you meet someone that just completely changes your whole life, that opens your eyes to a world that you didn't know, that is just filled with peace and harmony and love and kindness and laughter and fun and inspiration. That is such an inspiration to me. There's so many challenging moments that people just don't even know about. But we are in every minute together. Like even if I live in Joburg and he is here, we're connected. If I don't speak to him in some way within an hour, then it feels weird. So yeah, this day is really more than I ever thought I would experience. It was already enough. It was already enough. And I was happy to I would have been there anyway. I would have been there always, and he knows this. So it's not even like I needed this, but this was just like, took my breath away. It was more than I thought would happen. So for you all to be here to share this most amazing, beautiful, wonderful day with me means a lot. So I want to toast all of you, our special people, for being here with us today. Cheers. Cheers. And I'd like to toast my husband. Yeah, so Doug is, as you've realized, my husband. But he's been so many things. Like initially when he met me, I was a bit of a mess. So I went through my own dramas, and he was really like a guide. He was so kind and gentle and just reassuring in helping me find myself. And he always said that was the most important thing, was for me to find myself and love myself. And only when that could happen could I possibly make space for anyone in my life. But he was just there all the time. So besides being my guide, and then became my best friend, still is my best friend, my lover, my partner, my inspiration. He really truly is everything. So yeah, I've got pretty crazy about this man. We do have challenges. Our situation is pretty unique. But I think you all have challenges. Everybody's going to die one day. So I think if you really love someone and you honestly want the best for them every minute, it's just so easy to overcome anything, because you'll just do whatever you can to make that person happy and smile and comfort them and make sure they're fine. So I really do hope that we, have many more fun, laughing moments, and even if we have those difficult moments, anyway, it's fine, it's not good. So please cheers to my husband.
Cheers. Cheers. Today.
Woo! Ching ching.
It's actually quite nice. One quickie, my mother was just down the road here. That's where she was dated.
Yes.
So we'll just have a quick toast to my mommy. Probably around it, eh?
Okay, so before we're going to cut the cake, just a final toast from me to my beautiful sister, the bride. You look stunning today. You look phenomenal. I think you are the most beautiful bride I've seen in a long, long time. And it's just such an honor to be here today as your brother. And I know you said, can you be the, what is it? MC. I haven't done much, but if everyone can raise their glasses to the bride. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
You're not going to scream on me. But now you're supposed to cut a piece and eat it.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, you're going to eat it.
Let's see if it tastes good. We're going to eat things to see if you're going to survive the cake.
Destroy it.
So that's a bit small.
Do it. Psycho. Good.
Oh, Mom. Hold on. It's fine.
The first piece
like
is
she's
always
struggling.
the hardest to get out.
That's symbolic.
There you go. That's the one to do. There you go. No.
Mom, there's a little bit there. I'm sorry, man. Here we go. Take it. Okay, so now you can taste it. Janet's vanilla for you. The bottom is chocolate, so there's chocolate if you like.
That's what's supposed to be true.
Okay. I'm controlling that.
You're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool I'm not mistaken. Then you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it cold, but it's kind of cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend, but you don't know it's true. 'Cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, you make me sing for every line. You're everyone, you're everything. You're a carousel, you're always well, and you'll end me up when you ring the bell. You're a mystery, you're my space, you're every minute. So baby, just because I can, whatever comes our way, but we'll see it through. And you know that's what all love can do. And you're that's crazy, it's a lie. Through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing. You're everywhere, you're everywhere, you're everything. And in this crazy life, through this crazy life, it's you, you make me sing.
The world is full of strange behavior. Every man has to be his own savior. I know I can make it on my own if I try, but I'm searching for a great heart to stand me by underneath the African sky. A great heart to stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and keep me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African skies. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. There's a highway of stars across the heavens. There's a whispering song of the wind in the grass. There's a rolling thunder across the savannah. A hope and a dream at the edge of the sky. And your life is a story like the wind. Your life is a story like the wind. I'm searching for the spirit